Hello, and welcome back to those who joined us earlier last month to Culture Club South Bay, and welcome to those who are new to Culture Club South Bay. This is our second episode, and we're excited to share with you different cultures through food, literature, art, lifestyle, and music. We will also hear from our partner groups who will update us on the amazing work that they are doing within their own organizations. I would like to dedicate this particular episode to Tanya Taylor and honor her with the love and joy that we have through the talented people that we have sharing their stories with the love and joy that we have in the room and throughout the South Bay community today. First up is Lenora and Adnen, owners of Barsha Hermosa, and I'm super excited to have them on. They also have a wine tasting room here in Manhattan Beach, and I really hope you enjoy the program today. We're really excited to keep this going and really happy to have you all on board. So I'll no further ado, here is Lenora and Adnen. All right, done.
Hello.
Hi.
How you guys?
My name is Lenora.
I'm Adnen.
We are chefs, business partners, and food appreciators.
And wine too.
Oh, wine.
Wine too, yeah.
We're the owners of Barsha Wine Bar in Manhattan Beach and our newly opened restaurant in Hermosa Beach. So our cuisine is a mesh of both of our worlds. Adnen is from Tunisia, North Africa.
North Africa. Yep. And we, as Lenora mentioned, we're both chefs. We met very quick. We met back in Vegas. We're both chefs in Caesar Palace, and that's how we met. We like to cook, we like to drink, and we just opened Barsha Hermosa Beach. It's actually, I can show you guys a second right here. This is the patio. We have a really nice patio. Please come and see us. Sorry, I put it back. Here you go. Yes, so we both chefs, and Lenora, she's the acting executive chef for the restaurant here in Hermosa Beach. Thanks for having us. And also, we are in Manhattan Beach. We start actually a wine shop and a wine bar in Manhattan Beach. It's 917 North Sepulveda, Manhattan Beach. And the restaurant's been open almost for a year now.
Yeah, about a year. You can find out more information on our website at barshellife.com. I would say that one of my biggest inspirations in food is Adnen's mom. She's an amazing, amazing cook.
She's cool. We like Mama Zina.
Yeah, she's cool. You know, she kept you sustained.
Yeah, she did.
And, you know, her ability to make something out of nothing and to make it amazing is what has truly inspired my travels to Tunisia. So I would say that our restaurant is Tunisian, a little bit of both of our influences meshed together, our cultures, and also our culinary journeys. And I'm excited to expand on our journey. As I'm figuring out my history, I'm incorporating that little by little into our restaurant menu. So I'm excited about that. That comes with the African-American side and the Samoan side. So stay tuned. You'll be seeing more influence from those sides in our restaurant menu. We do have an example. Bring it over here.
Right, I'll bring it. So we made something for you guys just to tease you. So I don't know if you can bring the camera a little bit, Lenora, show them. So this is kind of like, it's a very stable dish in Tunisia called shakshuka. Shakshuka, it's kind of like a tomato stew based dish. Tunisia, we love lamb and we love eggs. Everything have to have eggs on it. But this one, it's kind of like Lenora take on the Tunisian shakshuka by making it vegetarian using soy riso instead of the lamb sausage.
Yep. So riso, onions, garlic, peppers, squash, and then we add. One thing that his mom has taught me is the importance of cooking down spices as your base. So cooking down the spices with the vegetables brings out the full aroma, adds more depth, And we also add a little bit harissa, which is a Tunisian chili paste, veggie stock, and then we top it off with an egg and add feta cheese. Adding
I'm
want to dip some
hungry.
bread, break into that egg. Oops, sorry.
Sorry, guys, I'm teasing you here, but yeah, you got it. And we make our own bread. It's nice grilled baguette with a Tunisian olive oil. And I don't know if you see it. And this is what you want, you guys. Look at that. And if you don't mind, I'm going to go ahead and take a bite. I'll let you know. Oh, yeah, the gooey egg. Mm.
It's my turn.
So good, chef. Oh, well done.
Here goes your wine. And we also have Barshell wine available in our wine shop in Manhattan Beach. Our 7-year-old daughter created the label. That's our family right there on the front.
So this is our first time making the wine. I've been drinking wine all my life, but this is my first time making my own wine. And I will have to say it's quite delicious. So cheers, you guys.
Cheers,
that's
guys.
Good. That's cilantro in the go.
Thank you. Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you so much, you guys. Please come and see us.
Oh no, I can't take a picture. I actually can't get behind.
Oh, hi everybody. My name is Martine Harris.
Oh, hi everybody.
There's a delay. My name is Martine Harris. I'm a speech and language pathologist and author of Dear Haiti, You're Not Who They Think You Are. I want to thank the Culture Club for creating this space for creatives to share their work. And today I'll be sharing an entry from my book that I self-published this year to commemorate the 10-year anniversary of the earthquake, which is briefly covered in this book. So Dear Haiti is a compilation of my journal entries dating back from 2007 to 2012, when I decided to leave the Bronx, New York, and move to Haiti to discover my roots. So I'm going to read an entry from when I first arrived to Haiti, and it's my first day at work as a teacher. So this is dated October 1st, 2009. So I was nervous as hell. This is my first job working in education, and I have absolutely no experience in the classroom setting. The school has about 60 students ranging from pre-K to 12th grade, and I'm here to teach 5th to 8th grade English grammar and composition. School has already started, so I didn't have a chance to review the curriculum, syllabus, or anything. I get it. I'm 23, but I look 15 years old. As the principal guided me to my classroom on the 2nd floor, everyone's eyes were on me, from the staff to the students. It felt like a scene from Carrie, from the typical chatter and loud noises you hear in a school to increasing silence with each step that I took. One student was staring so hard he dropped all of his books, and his classmates pointed at him and screamed with laughter. I was sweating from being so nervous, and Lord, the heat. Ugh, they can tell I'm American. Although in English school, nobody was speaking English, but not knowing what everyone was saying was making me even more nervous. And oh no, there goes that sweat on my upper lip when I get really nervous. And actually, I think that that's happening right now. During the first period, I found myself in front of the classroom full of preteens, some with curiosity on their faces as they stared at me, others surrounded by groups of friends as they gossiped about drama amongst themselves. The daughter of one of my aunt's friends was sitting on her boyfriend's lap, just chatting along. And there I was, standing in front of 10 loud preteen students. I didn't know how to get the students to their seats and be ready for a lesson that I didn't have prepared. I put my big girl voice on. Ahem. Excuse me. Now they were all facing me. Hi, I'm Miss Coffin. I'm your English teacher. I was immediately interrupted. Miss, where are you from? Miss, how old are you? Do you speak Creole? Why are you at this school, miss? This is a school for bad kids. I told them I was 40 years old and from New York, and no, I don't speak Creole, and that I don't believe in bad kids. Then I let each student introduce themselves. I had everyone pulling out a sheet of paper and write an about me paragraph. For a bunch of 8th graders, I was very surprised by their writing abilities. Many of them only wrote a couple of sentences. Some wrote nothing at all and gave me a blank sheet of paper with their name scribbled on top of it. Others, their grammar, syntax, and spelling made it impossible to comprehend. There were 2 students who wrote these elaborate, well-written paragraphs. One of the students turned in a sentence that simply said, Miss, I know you're not 40. This is going to be an interesting year. The first day was very hard. The heat was intolerable, and honestly, I felt like I was going to pass out by noon. As I left the school and walked to my aunt's vehicle, she saw that I was drained. A migraine came along, and the ride home only made it worse. Thank you for listening today, guys. You can get this book on Amazon or www.travelandgive.org and click on the store link. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. I'm Tanya from El Segundo for Black Lives, and I would like to share with you today a head wrap tutorial. I have two fabrics. This one is African wax fabric, which is on cotton, a very stiff cotton. And the wax fabrics come in a huge variety of colors, of patterns, and they're really a lot of fun. And then I have also this one, which is a traditional kente cloth. Kente comes also in many different colors. The difference being that the colors may change. However, it's very similar in the fact that it's square boxes which have a repetition in terms of linear patterns, boxes, triangles, and squares. This fabric is one of the Khan fabrics, which would have been worn by kings. Now we use them more widely, and you'll see them very frequently in celebrations in many different cultures across the world, mainly African diaspora and African cultures. But that's that one. And the one that I'm going to use today for the head wrap is this beautiful peacock wax fabric material that originates in Ghana. So I'm going to hold this up so you can have a good look at that. So the first thing you have to do is you need to have a piece of fabric that is about 1.5 meters, as you can see, by 1.5 meters in length and in width. Then if you take it by one corner, we're actually going to fold it into a triangle. It's not going to be an equal triangle. There's going to be on one end, as you can see there, a shorter piece. So once you have your triangle, you take the top part here. I'm going to hold that up for you so you can see that. And I'm going to just fold that again for you to see. Now, the first thing you want to do is, let me just switch around, is dip your head down and the cloth will go on the back of your head. So you're going to wrap from back to front. So I will dip my head down, place the cloth over my head, and then gather the two ends. So a bit of a peekaboo there. So once I have the two ends, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie these two ends together underneath the triangle that you see here. Okay, I'm going to pull that tight. Okay, so once that has been pulled tight, I'm going to pull through the top section. So I have like 3 pieces of fabric now. I'm going to pull tight again, and then I'm going to adjust, turn to the side. I'm going to adjust the back to make sure it's comfortable on my neck. So the back, because it's a lot of fabric, you can fold it over either a bit higher or a bit lower, but just to make it comfortable for yourself. Once you've done that, this is so easy, you will not believe it. You take the 2 longest ends and you're going to bring them together at the top and tie them. And it's going to be a loose tie. So we do 1 and then bring them together again, another loose tie, and that makes 2. I'm going to tuck in the loose ends at the back. Then I'm going to take this piece here and I'm going to twist it slightly, bring it around to this side. Sorry, I see everything on back to front. And I'm going to tuck that just under my hairline. And now the fun is you now just pull and tuck a little bit so that you stretch it out so you can get a nice large, almost like a bow at the top. And then I like to pull mine back just a little bit to show my hairline. And there you have it, a super that you can wear for special occasions or on bad hair days. And if you really want to make it even more glamorous, add bold earrings. These earrings are handmade by a very good friend whose link I shall place in the video at the end. And these are earrings that are with an African theme. And there you have it, a beautiful head wrap, a cultural look with a more African heritage type of style. And literally that was done in 2-3 minutes. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the program. Thank you very much. Goodbye. Okay, Lisa, Susie.
Hi, everyone. I'm Susie. I'm with South Bay for Social and Racial Justice. And we started about a few months ago in July on Nextdoor. And we have currently 400 members, or just actually a little over 400 members. To address, discuss, and ultimately dismantle systemic racism in our South Bay beach cities, because it does exist here, just like it exists everywhere else. By the way, Tanya, I just want to tell you, you look stunning in the turban and those earrings. That was unbelievable. And you're just so beautiful. I just had to say that. So back to our group. What's great is we are really bringing together people from all areas of the South Bay that may or may not have been communicating regularly before, certainly not about social and racial justice. So we have members from Inglewood, Carson, Lawndale, Manhattan Beach, Palos Verdes, Redondo Beach. We're up to Torrance. We're up to about 12 cities now. So everyone is really here to support one another, our own initiatives. And of course, Allison with the South Bay Culture Club. We're here to celebrate the joy in bringing everyone together, because even though this is really hard work, we need to also focus on the joy and celebration and loving memory, especially of Brianna right now. So thank you for having me today. I look forward to seeing you at more local protests, or perhaps on the Equity Committee for Redondo Union High School, or our next event. Thank you, and I hope you're all doing well and staying safe during this time. Bye.
Hi, everybody. Hello, Culture Club supporters. I am super excited to be here today because I would like to present to you Pop the Bubble 2020. And just like Redondo Beach, we are an organization that is local within the South Bay that's trying to achieve the exact same goals that a lot of the organizations locally are trying to hit. Let me start off by introducing myself, just so you guys have a good understanding of who I am. My name is Lisa. I grew up in Manhattan Beach. I graduated from Maricosta, but I refuse to tell you what year, because that's embarrassing. I'm currently a teacher at Lawndale High School. I teach PE and I work with 9th and 10th grade. I have 3 kids in Manhattan Beach Unified. I have a 1st grader at Penny Camp. I have a 5th grader at Penny Camp, and I have a 7th grader at Manhattan Beach Unified, or excuse me, MBMS. And then the last thing is that I am the co-president of Pop the Bubble 2020. I just want to give you a brief introduction on the group as it stands. We initially started, it was a group of soccer friends that my daughter plays for a team, and then the moms and I just constantly hung out with one another. And shortly after the death of George Floyd, we started to talk and dialogue about what we wanted to do to make things better in the future for our kids. And we wanted to give our kids the opportunity to have a voice and understand what was going on in the world today. And with that, we kind of quickly built up the Children's Peaceful Protest that was June 6th at the Manhattan Beach Pier. Hopefully some of you were there and you remember it. It ended up bringing in a crowd of approximately 700 people, of which a majority were kids. And after we finished that, we had a lot of people who asked us, what is next? What can we do? We'd like to help more. So that kind of led to the idea that we wanted to continue this mission and really focus on what was going on with the youth within South Bay. As Pop the Bubble stands, our mission is to, I'm gonna have to look because I wanna make sure I say it exactly, to create inclusivity and compassion within the South Bay by empowering children through empathy, education, and action. So the next question would be, what have we done so far? We are actually closing out, and so excited to announce that we are closing out the finishing of our first fundraiser, which is Read It Like You Mean It. And the goal was for us to reach out to the South Bay community and ask for donations so that we could bring in diverse literature into our local schools that would create really thoughtful conversations about culture and about equity and what was going on in the world today. South Bay, you guys rocked it. We hit our $10,000 goal. And that is going to allow us to get one set of 35 books into each participating elementary and middle school, which would include Hermosa Beach, Manhattan Beach, and El Segundo. Just so you know, the fundraiser is still open. We would still love to receive donations because every donation that we get is going to put an additional book into a child's hand. And it is those books in children's hands that are literally going to change the future of either our kids or the future of another child. So please consider donating. If you do, you're going to go to www.popthebubble2020.com. So then the next question would be, what's happening next? And we are ecstatic to announce that there is a phase 2 for Read It Like You Mean It. Phase 2 essentially is a call to the big businesses in South Bay and downtown LA, just so you know. We have been matched with Compton Unified School District through one of our board members who is also a member of Links Inc. And she has a deep, deep connection with Compton. So Compton Unified, we hear you. Dr. Brawley, we hear you. Dr. Moon, we hear you. And Compton students, we support you. We are taking this fundraiser and we are going to reach for a goal of between $50,000 and $75,000 to help supplement Compton Unified Schools with literature. We want books in all 20,000 students' hands. And we want them to feel the support of the neighboring cities, and we want them to feel the love of South Bay. Our goal is to embrace every neighborhood that is close to ourselves, for them to come to us, for us to go to them. And we feel like this fundraiser is the perfect way to start bridging that gap and bringing these communities closer together and creating those relationships and those friendships and those dialogues with those students. So that being said, downtown LA, listen up, because we are coming for you. We need big business donations. If you can think of anybody who is willing or interested, please have them reach out to our organization. And we are aiming for the stars, and we hope to land on the moon on this one. We want to show Compton students that South Bay loves and cares for every student, for every family. And we can't think of a better way to do that than through this Read It Like You Mean It Phase 2 fundraiser. I do want to say a special shout out or thank you to Allie. You are my girl. You know I love you. Thank you for your hard work and your dedication and everything that you do. You are so valued, and I hope you recognize that. And I would now like to introduce my daughter, Ryan Bennett. She is the 7th grader who is at Manhattan Beach Middle School. I have to brag a little bit because she has a 4.0 with distance learning. And she is actually going to be reading a piece from one of the books that we are donating to the local school districts with our recent fundraiser of $10,000. The book is called We Rise, We Resist, We Raise Our Voices. And she is reading the particular piece, Words Have Power by Ellen O. Please welcome my daughter.
Hi, everyone. I'm Ryan Bennett. When I was a kid, I had a bullying problem. I was called terrible things. I was spit on. I was beat up. I was humiliated, all because I was a Korean American girl who didn't look anything like white America. This was my introduction to racism. Why don't you go back to your own country? Strangers would shout at me. They didn't understand this was my country, the only country I've ever known. Where was I supposed to go? I wasn't a person to them, just a stereotype. Encountering racism was painful, but it was nothing compared to witnessing what my parents had to deal with. At least I spoke perfect English, but my immigrant parents, with their broken English, had suffered far worse. As immigrants, they encountered humiliating racism and suffered crippling poverty. And yet, they never wavered in their love and support for their adopted country, their belief that the American dream had a place for them too. I was proud of them and ashamed of myself. I was the only kid who hid my loving packed kimbap lunch for my classmates to avoid being teased about eating weird food. I refused to speak Korean in public with my parents because I didn't want to stand out. I was embarrassed to be an Asian in a white country. But not my parents. Living in America didn't diminish their pride for Korean culture or heritage. And when people sneered at their broken English, they reassured themselves that they spoke 2 other languages fluently, Korean and Japanese. When I think of all the humiliation they endured, I am both brokenhearted and proud. Racism taught me to hate myself, but my parents taught me to be proud of my culture and heritage, to be proud to be Korean, even when faced with bigotry and hate. And despite my moments in self-loathing, at the worst of my bullying, my dad told me, if someone hits you once, you hit them 10 times harder. I learned that the hard way, and this was not the best advice, especially for someone who was always angry. In fact, it was the recipe for disaster, especially for someone who was always angry. In fact, it was a recipe for disaster, but it also taught me a valuable lesson. Anger is both a powerful tool and a dangerous weapon. It should be used wisely, channeled to give a person strength and conviction. You might start with anger, but you need to end up in another place, a better place. And the only way to do that is to engage others in dialogue. Over the years, I have found that the best way to change someone else's mind is to sit down and talk to them and learn from one another. One should never underestimate the power of words. One should never underestimate the importance of changing one person's mind. Change happens one person at a time. So now I must pass that same pride my parents vested in me to my own children. I must remind them that heat comes from ignorance, and ignorance can only be countered by sharing ideas and experiences. The proof that we are all human. Thank you.
Thank you, Culture Club.
Am I done?
Hi, my name is Adjanae. I am a singer-songwriter. Just want to say thank you for having me, Culture Club. I'm going to be sharing 2 songs with you guys. But I also wanted to speak very quickly about a project that I'm working on called The Mental Zine. It is a platform for voices of color to discuss mental health, because I think within marginalized communities that tends to get overlooked. You can find a little bit about us at thementalzine.com, zine spelled Z-I-N-E. On top of that, I'm also a musician, and I'm going to be sharing a few songs, like I had said. This first song is called Fear is a Liar. It is one of the tracks on my upcoming EP. This is a song that I wrote with a friend post dealing with some heavy feelings that I think are echoed in the news cycles that we're experiencing right now. Fear is everywhere, and there is a lot that we can do. But the first thing we have to do is try to overcome it within ourselves. And I'm trying to remind myself of that every day. So this song is called Fear is a Liar. He sits and he waits at the edge of my bed until I slip away. He gets inside my head. He says you can't escape the game that I play, the hell that I raise. But fear is a liar, and he's dragging me down, making me question all the love that I found. Crawling around in my head when it's late and there's no one around. Fear is a liar, but I ain't backing down. He's taking control of the way that I move. It's taking a toll. He's twisting the truth. He says you can't escape the game that I play, the hell that I raise. But fear is a lie, and he's dragging me down, down, making me question all the love that I found. Crawling around in my head when it's late and there's no one around. Yeah. Well, fear is a liar, but I ain't backing down. Scared of the dark, of the ghost in the closet. Scared of the cops and an empty apartment. Scared of running into all of my exes and not living up to what I expected my life to be. Fear is a liar, and he's dragging me down, down, making me question all the love that I found. Crawling around in my head when it's late and there's no one around. Yeah, fear is a liar, and I ain't backing down. Fear is a liar, but I ain't backing down. All right, that song is kind of intense. will lighten it up. I'm gonna lighten the mood. This next song is a love song that I wrote. I thought I would end with a little bit of love. I actually wrote this song post-breakup, and I just wrote a song about how I wanted to feel instead. Because sometimes that's the best thing we can do. I wanna love it when you call me baby. I wanna drive you just a little bit crazy. I want your voice to hit in all the right places. I wanna watch the way that your face changes over time. Oh, give me a chance. I wanna know what it's like to float away on the waves of the way that you make me feel. But I'm thinking that this can't get any better, but then you show me another way to shift and change. It blows my mind, and I wonder what I did to deserve someone who lights up my world. Oh, I wanna be the girl who floats away on the waves of the way that you make me feel. I wanna go home and meet your parents. I wanna let you update my habits. Whoa, 'cause people were made to be broken and rearranged and changed again. So I'm fine with a little bit of you in my head. Give me a chance. Give me a love I can't forget. But I'm thinking that this can't get any better, but then you show me another way to shift and change. It blows my mind, and I wonder what I did to deserve someone who lights up my world. So I wanna be the girl that floats away on the waves of the way that you make me feel, the way that you make me, the way that you make me, the way that you make me feel. Yeah, I'm thinking that this can't get any better, but then you show me another way to shift and change. It blows my mind, and I wonder what I did to deserve someone who lights up my world. Oh, I wanna be the girl who floats away on the waves of the way that you make me feel. Thank you guys so much for having me. My name is Adjanae. That's it for me.
There you go. I think you can all hear me now. Thank you very much. Very nice to be here with you all. That was wonderful. I can't believe you wrote that and you performed that with so much passion and soul. Very beautiful. My name is Lee Tonks, and I am Tanya's husband. I am an artist. And Tanya asked me to come and speak about a piece that I created a few years back. And I'll pop that up on the screen right now. Okay, do you see that, Tanya? Do you put that on or do I? Okay, I see it there. Okay, so this piece was inspired after Eric Garner. First, it was Eric Garner that was killed in 2014. Well, I say first, obviously he wasn't the first. There was a lot of people that were murdered by bad cops prior to that. But after seeing one after the other, a friend of mine, an actor, Daniel Watts, posted a movement piece that he did in Times Square where he had about 60 people who just all turned up at the same time and just froze and then kept on going. And I thought it was such a beautiful way to protest in silence, but it was so powerful. I've always found that art, for me, travels very far. My work has been as far afield as South Korea, Germany, Spain, the UK, all across the United States. It's been published in magazines and gallery exhibitions all around the world. So as my art started to develop, or as I started to develop as an artist, I found that it was a very good avenue for me to express issues that I had with society, civil rights, anything that I had a gripe with. And after seeing that movement piece that Daniel did, I just got up and just started working on this piece. And there's been mixed reviews to it. People have been unsure at times exactly what the meaning behind the piece was. The title of the piece is "This is America," and the America is spelled with the 3 Ks instead of a C. So a lot of people see the KKK and they think that it's a racist thing, but also if you look, I presume that people would understand the message behind the piece. As you can see, Tanya is in the piece. She's actually 9 months pregnant there, I think, in this one, but you can't see it. The symbolism of the flag, if you look at the stars on the flag, they are blacking out, which signifies, the choking out of young black men in America at an alarming rate by corrupt policemen. And not all police are corrupt, I'd like to throw that out there. And then if you look closer at the images that are collaged into the background, I've juxtaposed the racism that black people have endured over the last 100 years, is probably the oldest image that's on there, against the imagery that has been thrust upon white people. And so you can see that how it's basically ridiculing and making fun of black skin in every way, shape and form. And then you juxtapose that with white Jesus or Donald Trump or Rambo, John Wayne. So you have all of these characters that are virile men being shown in ways of, walking off with their guns toting and, shooting things up and being the hero. And then you have black people who've been portrayed in this awful light throughout history. So I wanted to kind of remind people that this can't be brushed under the carpet. This has to be addressed. The history of what's happened in the United States has to be on the tongues of people talking. This piece, I found, has made some people uncomfortable, and some people have just got it immediately. The people that it's made uncomfortable have very often been white people. And I think a lot of that is probably associated with a guilt factor. And then there's also a big part of that which is probably associated with the fact that they just don't understand it. Because anytime you put anything like this out there, it's all, no, you can't go there. But that's just the point. We have to go there. We have to look at what these symbols represent and how this has affected the United States from 401 years ago, and the trajectory of civil rights in this country. I mean, quite frankly, it's appalling. I had a conversation with a man the other day, African-American guy, who was trying to convince me that systemic racism doesn't exist in the United States. And obviously it does, as we all know, as is why we're here. And, my hope was that this piece would be created. It was created from a good place. It came from a good place. It wasn't intended to shock or bother anybody. This was recently chosen by the jurors at the Johannesburg Museum for Apartheid in South Africa. Out of about 7,500 pieces of art, this was chosen and nominated for a Fine Art Award. So it's traveled very far. It's been supported by people like Miss Debbie Allen, who loves it, who has a copy in her collection. Jasmine Gates has a copy in her limited edition print in hers. Deborah Constance has used it for the back cover of her book, Equality. And I hope you enjoy. I think my time is up. I think I'm seeing people screaming, get him off. Anyhow, thank you very much for having me. And I'll speak to you all soon. Thank you. Ciao, ciao.
Hi, so my name is Jasmine Gates. I am the founder of New Black History Makers. We talked about, well, I talked about this on the last Culture Club, but we are an organization that's dedicated to highlighting the work that our ancestors have done by celebrating those that are operating on those paths. We came down to Manhattan Beach around like June 6th. It was Breonna Taylor's birthday, and we just brought a whole bunch of Black women down here. We just wanted to celebrate. I know that we are seeing all of the unrest and all of the riots and the protesting and stuff, but there is a very necessary piece of healing, especially for us as Black people. And that's what I wanted to come down here and do. And then also with the history of Bruce's Beach, that was something that was relayed to me through Robert Lee Johnson, and he essentially just let me know that this was once a space, or in Manhattan Beach, Bruce's Beach was once a space that was owned by Black people, and it was a resort where we came, and Black people couldn't get on the sand, they couldn't go in the water, so this was their space. Eventually, white people kind of ran them out. Not kind of, they really did run them out. So learning that and knowing about the mission that I have for the brand, it only made sense to come down here and essentially create like new history on this land that was once owned by our ancestors. It's very much so in alignment with the statement that our brand is, I'm a new Black history maker. So that's that. We do a lot of work in terms of feeding the homeless. It's been a little iffy because of the coronavirus, but we do go into schools when they have been open and go in, and we bring Black professionals in to speak to the kids, to speak to the Black kids and let them know like, hey, there are professionals and people that are doing things that you may not have heard of that are Black, that look like you, that come from where you essentially come from. So that's pretty much like what we do. We do also have merchandise. So if anyone is interested in purchasing it, you can follow us on Instagram. It's at the bottom of the screen, New Black History Makers. And then also just the whole aspect of like supporting Black businesses, lifting up Black voices. Shout out to Lee for that last piece. I appreciate the intellect that was put in behind that. I definitely appreciate that just as like a pro-Black person. So definitely uplift, Black voices and allow us to tell our stories, support us. We are not privy to a lot of the resources that non-Black people have when we're trying to build our businesses. So if you do have Black people in your circle that are around you that can provide services, definitely, push them to the front. Push them to the front, because we are definitely capable. And that's essentially what New Black History Makers is. We just want to celebrate ourselves, whether it's something big like being the first president, or if it's something, not I want to say small, but just deciding to go vegan or deciding to be a vegetarian. Those are all New Black history making, moments or things that will deem you as a New Black history maker. So definitely follow us. We have a podcast, so that's on every streaming platform. You can type in New Black History Makers podcast and listen to some of the things that we have on there. We've discussed Reiki, we've discussed traveling, we have episodes that detail Black male stories. Black men don't really get to tell their stories often, so we created a space for them to come in and unapologetically tell their story without them being interrupted, without us challenging them. So that's something that I think that we definitely need to change norms with. So listen to Black men, listen to Black women, and definitely support us if you guys are really, for us and for the whole movement of, or the statement of Black lives actually mattering. But I'm going to get out the way. That's a piece about New Black History Makers. After me will be my dear sister, Melaina Williams. She'll be getting on here singing. She is a singer, a writer, and a performer, amongst a whole bunch of other things, but just a great force, a great, person that has such an amazing talent. I cannot wait for you guys to hear her. So thank you to Culture Club. Thank you to Allie, to everybody else that's doing amazing work. Shout out to Pop the Bubble. That work that you're doing is super dope. Our kids in Compton definitely need that. So I'll be looking forward to that, and they definitely need to hear more Black stories, not in Compton, but in schools abroad. So thank you guys for all the amazing work that you guys are doing. So I will get out the way now.
Hello, Culture Club. My name is Melaina Williams, and I am a poet, singer, songwriter, and playwright born in Inglewood, California. And I have written the book, Bless Your Sweet Bones. It is a book of poetry. And you're welcome to follow me and find the link in my bio. But I think the biggest thing with artists, and especially Black artists, how we can support art in the community is a lot of ways of how we can help our young people to express and find themselves. So I'm just very grateful to be here, honored to be here, that you would have me here. And thank you so much, Jasmine, my sister, for the sweet intro. I'm not going to take a lot of time. I'm just going to share with you one of my favorite songs, which is Redemption Song by the great Bob Marley. And I believe that if we go back to these songs, especially in these times and all times of life, we will find the power, the strength, and the resilience to continue on in the fight. And I hope that this song lifts you up today. Oh, pirates, so yes, they rabbi, sold I to the merchant ships. Minutes after they took I from the bottomless pit. But my hand was made strong by the hand of the Almighty. We forward in this generation triumphantly. So won't you help to sing, if you know it, you can sing with me, these songs of freedom, 'cause all I ever had, yeah, redemption songs. Emancipate yourselves from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our minds. Have no fear for atomic energy, 'cause none of it can stop the time. How long shall they kill our prophets while we stand aside and look? They say it's just a part of it. We got to fulfill the book. So won't you help to sing these songs of freedom? 'Cause all I ever had, yeah, redemption songs. 'Cause all I ever had, redemption songs. These songs of freedom, redemption songs. These songs of freedom, redemption songs. God bless you all. Continue to fight the good fight. And thank you so much, Culture Club and Allison, for having me. God bless.
Hello, everybody. I thought I would keep on my attire, the wrap for you. I'm actually going to be speaking specifically about El Segundo for Black Lives. El Segundo for Black Lives, as you know from the last time that we were here with you in Series 1 of Culture Club, is a group that came at the head of the protests for George Floyd. And since then, we have formed our group into teams that challenge city reform, police reform, and also education reform. Most recently, we can say that our city is now working on implementing a DEI commission, which is diversity, equity, and inclusion. We're very happy to say that they're actually at the interview stage of the process, so we can see that this commission is going to be moving forward. We are hoping that this commission will be able to bring forth a lot more knowledge and also acknowledgement of the need for diversity and inclusion in the city of El Segundo and in cities everywhere. Secondly, our students and our youth leaders are doing an absolutely amazing job at speaking with the educators in our community, with their schools, and right now they're actually working in unison in order to be able to develop a program and plans for being able to try and further the mission to have schools which are more inclusive and more diverse and at least open to hearing and understanding the difficulties that students of color may face in a neighborhood like El Segundo and other predominantly white neighborhoods, when generally their voices are the ones which are not heard. We're extremely happy that the school has embraced that need. We're extremely happy that the parents have shown a very strong demonstration of support for the students, our school reform team, and then we have our Students for Change team as well. And we just feel that the progress is being made, and we're happy to see that our city, our police, and our schools are open to having these conversations and actually looking at ways that we can together push for a better environment for everybody who lives, works, studies, or even just visits El Segundo. So I hope that you will visit our website, which is elsegundofforBlackLives.org. We're also on Facebook, El Segundo for Black Lives. We're on Instagram, the same, and also Twitter, but our Twitter is ES for Black Lives. So please do follow us, show support, and feel free to reach out and contact us if you ever want to have any information about what we're doing, what we're working on, or if you'd like to offer some advice. Thank you so much. I really appreciate this. And I hope you enjoy the final part. Goodbye.
Hi, everyone. I really hope that you have enjoyed what we've shared with you today. It really makes me happy that we can explore different cultures and get, learn about, different ethnicities and through the different platforms that we've had today. And thank you to everyone who's participated. This means so much, and we will continue to keep doing the good work and fighting the good fight and being inclusive and spreading love. And so thank you to everyone. And I just wanted to leave you with something to think about. And that's really something that I live by. And it's be the change that you want to see in the world. And I encourage you all to think about that and how you can be that change for yourself and other people. And we truly do have a effect on others. And so I implore you all to think about that as you go about your day, and enjoy the rest of your weekend. And I'll see you next time. Thank you.